are in a video store. You are in a video store. You are in a video store. Yeah, you are in a video store. Said you are in a video store. Said you are in a video store. Ah, that's the theme song. We got it. We did it. We came up with it together just now. What up, everybody out there? By which I mean myself as the watcher tonight. We'll give people a little bit of time. See if anyone wants to come join us tonight. Know that it's been a hectic last, 10 days to say the least. Can you believe that it has been, and I'm just talking to myself right now, can you believe that it has been less than 2 weeks since Halloween? Because I am having a hard time believing it. And I have a whole spiel lined up here as well, a little thing. So I'm going to go ahead and practice it while I'm alone. And also, this image is fine. Here's my spiel I wanted to practice. Okay. Good evening. It is now 7 p.m. and wherever you are in a video store, your online digital hangout, let me try that again. Good evening. It is now 7 p.m. and no matter where you are in a video store, your online movie hangout for people who miss hanging out around movies. There, I did it. That was the intro. Just in time for a new viewer. I don't know who you are, but welcome. We're starting off slow tonight. It's been a weird last 10 days. And I know a lot of people, like last week we started the stream and we went for like 45 minutes and it was just Stephanie and I talking, fun hangout. No one watched. And we were just like, you know what? We don't want to watch either. We want to go watch the election results. And then of course this week's just been a surreal nightmare. So here we are, we're in the video store stream. Stephanie's taking the night off and I am going to do a short show. If you are new here, what we generally do is act like it's a video store. It's part talk show, but it's mostly hangout. The chat is very much encouraged to share opinions, share suggestions, ask questions, ask for recommendations, any of that. And generally how the show breaks down is we spend about our first third doing a little thing we call, well, what did you watch this week? Where I talk about what I watched this week, Stephanie talks about what she watched this week, and you tell us in the comments, in the chat, what you watched this week and what you thought of it, and we just have an open dialogue. After that, we generally move into new arrivals, which is where if we've ordered anything, we want to unbox on the show, we do that then. It's the Criterion sale. I went light. I did not go crazy, but I have a few that we can be like, hey, look, this is pretty. And then the third part of the night is generally a movie club. So during October, we started doing theme weeks for horror. Had Werewolf Week, had Slasher Week, 90s Week, and Grab Bag Week. And then last week, we didn't plan on anything because, like I said, we didn't really figure many people would tune in to watch because of the election. We figured give it an extra week. Everyone needs to watch something other than horror right now. But this week, I think we're going to try and bring it back. You can follow us on Instagram if you want to keep up with that. We generally pick one movie club pick per week. That's like a book club, one movie. But we're going to have one more week of horror theme because, damn it, we're a video store. We love the horror section. So we are going to do one more week of horror. I'm just going to tell you what that is right now. It's holiday horror. I got a whole stack of things I'll recommend a little bit later on when we get to movie club for holiday horror movies set on holidays. That's what we're going to be diving into a week from tonight. So we all have a week to watch as many of those as we care to or can. And then we'll meet back here in a week to talk about holiday horror. This week, ostensibly, the movie club pick 2 weeks ago was Halloween 2018. That's what the chat and us as hosts decided on. We always try and make these calls with the chat. And so that was the most recently assigned movie club pick. That was 2 weeks ago. Again, we're in a weird timeline because of the election. We watched it. If anyone's here wants to talk about Halloween 2018, I have some thoughts. And then other than that, it's just going to be like, what did I watch this week? What did you watch this week? If you're wondering where you are other than being in a video store, you were also on UltraLoop on Twitch. This channel is run by myself, Stephanie Thoreson, Kenna Benefield, Keelan Haynes, Colt Joyce, and Alon Rachowski. And there's a whole lot of streaming going on this channel of very different kinds. So we have this movie show every Tuesday. Stephanie's normally hosting again. She's taking the night off tonight. And there's a lot of live game streaming. So I'm going to wet my whistle real quick. I figure, whoever you are at that, thanks for watching. I'm just going to go ahead and keep talking. This will just be a little one-man podcast. Tune out if you get bored of me. Tell some friends if you want more of me. I didn't mean to make that a rhyme, but that's where we are. So I figured I'll just go ahead and jump into what I watched this week. Just talk about it. We'd like to do capsule reviews here. We don't really have any rules here other than be polite to each other. Don't shame someone for not having seen something or for liking something. And don't judge things until you've seen them. So I'll go ahead and jump in. I got my little list on my phone. That's not my list. That's a friend of mine's Instagram video where he's playing electric guitar. Okay. I do really like the idea that every time I open my phone to see the list of movies, maybe we'll have to make that an actual interstitial. By the way, if you keep watching, you'll see interstitials later on tonight for the transitions. There's not one for this section. So just imagine that a VHS video screen went, what did you watch this week? In a robot voice, because that's what the other ones are like. Okay. We last left off leading up to Halloween. We watched a shit ton of stuff. Our pick of that week was Blair Witch Project. We got really deep in the weeds talking about the meta journey of the 90s to 1999, the split of Blair Witch Project with digital and film being its two sources and what that meant, and crossing over into 2000. I watched Blair Witch Project 2. Not a good movie, but a fascinating flip of the culture in the year 2000 versus the first one the year before. That's what we got into a few weeks ago. Now, after that, here are the movies I watched. Finished watching Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Was rolling that. Finally found them on VHS. It's been a really fun thing, rewatching some of my favorite horror movies on VHS. So I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare on VHS. The fun thing, let me turn that off. The fun thing about Nightmare 5 on tape is that it's actually an uncut version of the movie that never appeared, or so far has not appeared, on any disc or streaming release of the movie, or subsequent VHS release. So I don't know why, but the theatrical version, the MPAA, they didn't let them get away with all the gore they wanted. They put it out on tape, and then that tape just never got properly transferred. So it was fun watching the movie and seeing kind of a more grossness. And I discovered that I truly do love Nightmare 5. The last time I really watched it was in chronological order with all of them. I really spaced them out. It was only one a night. I didn't marathon them at all this time. And I gotta say, I often thought of it as one of the weaker entries, but effects-wise, ideas-wise, I think really my top three are 1, 3, and 5, in that order. I think this is a real good classic case of odds and evens, as sometimes happens with franchises. Notorious Star Trek, the Star Trek movies. People often talk about how the second, the fourth, the sixth trump the first, the third, and the fifth, and the seventh. I feel that way about the Freddy franchise. I feel like 1, 3, 5, and New Nightmare are the real gold mines. Now, 2 stands alone. 2, in terms of ranking it, it's weird because 2 is like this standalone queer horror experimental take on Freddy that doesn't really feel like it gels with the franchise, but I love it. And 4 is like a fine Freddy movie. 6 is not a very good Freddy movie. That's my thoughts on Freddy. If you're just joining us, no matter where you are now in a video store. Your online digital hangout. Let me try that again. See, I wrote a little thing because if you've been watching the show, you know that we've been trying to tighten our description at the top. So here it goes. No matter where you are in a video store. Your online movie hangout for people who miss hanging out around movies. There it is. There's the log line. I'm your host, Adam Protextor. We do have an Instagram account now for the show. It's at You Are In A Video Store. At You Are In A Video Store. No spaces. Also, you'll see myself and Stephanie's Instagrams pop up here. We also post about the show. Those are our personals, though. And Stephanie's out tonight. Last week, we decided to scrap the stream pretty early, took the week off for election results, and here we are in this crazy world trying to get some of this tension out of our blood by talking about movies. So Stephanie's chilling, and yeah, we're just doing the What Did You Watch section. So if you're new, well, we always encourage people to jump into the chat and share their thoughts on what they watched or anything. Ask for a recommendation, etc. It's an open space. The only rule is don't judge each other. Don't judge movies you haven't seen, and be nice. Other than that, get in the chat. Talk to me. Okay, let me see. What else? That was my take on the 2 Nightmare movies I watched. I watched a little, just because I'm covering 2 weeks here, there's going to be a little more horror in here. If there's something you watched that you want me to know about, or you want to know what I think about, or you want to tell me, Adam, watch it, put it in the chat. Okay, what else was there? Exorcist 3. I'd never seen The Exorcist 3 before. This was a new one for me. I loved this movie, and I actually Googled ahead of time because I'm a huge fan of The Exorcist. Seen that many times. Haven't seen any of the sequels. Never have. Similar story to me and RoboCop. I only saw the RoboCop sequels this year. RoboCop 1 is maybe my favorite movie. Exorcist 3, adapted from William Peter Blady's novel Legion. What I learned Googling it was no, you do not have to. What? I'm all over the place. What I Googled was, do I need to watch Exorcist 2? The answer is no, you don't. They're separate stories. So I was like, cool, because I've heard much better things about 3. I'll go back and watch 2, but I was really excited to see 3. First of all, there is a scare in it that I had heard talked about. Notorious. The less you know, the better. It's a very good scare. It got me. It was wonderful. And I just loved this kind of world building of the continuation of the Father Karras arc from the first movie, while also essentially just being this like battle of wits between George C. Scott and Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif might be my favorite actor of all time. I absolutely adore Brad Dourif. What up, y'all? What up? I had the chat closed over here. What up, y'all? Okay, watched Halloween 2018. We can look, Holden Wogan, great job, nerds. We're gonna do a shorter stream tonight. If you want to talk about Halloween 2018, let's talk about it. That was our movie club pick, so I was gonna save it, but fuck, tell me what you thought. Because I watched it too. We can scramble it up tonight because we're gonna have a shorter stream. Stephanie's off, and she's promised me a surprise. It's my birthday in 10 days, so she said we were gonna do something tonight to celebrate early. She wanted to do something, so I don't know what's going on out there. She told me to stay in here until at least 8:30. Oh, awesome! So we have 3 people who watched Halloween 18. Cool. Well, let me just tie a bow on my thought here for Exorcist 3. Okay, Brad Dourif is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's the voice of Chucky. He's incredible in Deadwood. He's obviously Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings. He's gentle Billy Babbitt in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's in Rob Zombie's Halloween. I love Brad Dourif. He's a shapeshifter. He's one of the scariest performers, and he's one of the gentlest performers. And I just am in awe. He's my favorite. And he just gets to be so scary in Exorcist 3. And George C. Scott is just like, I love being in the presence of George C. Scott. I was thinking about The Changeling while I was watching this. If you haven't seen The Changeling, great ghost story. It's really about grief, haunted house story with George C. Scott. Man, it just feels like being around the most comforting father figure being around him, because he's got that American red-blooded gruffness of a man of his generation, and yet none of the like, I bet you're a racist asshole energy. And I don't know. I don't know anything about George C. Scott's personal life, honestly, but you know what I mean? Like with John Wayne, you've got that like kind of comforting energy, but it's too clouded by like, I know you're a dick. George C. Scott just feels like a good, like, I don't know. I fucking Dr. Strangelove to Patton to this. I just like him. He's a wonderful performer, fantastic actor. And Exorcist 3, even if you're not a fan of horror, if you just want to see an actor's scenes, like just watch scenes of actors at the top of their craft, Scott versus Dourif, didn't know how much I wanted that in my life. Okay, y'all. That's my rant about Exorcist 3. What else? Oh, and then my other big confession, y'all, is that I watched Scary Movie 2. Because it's from 2001, and one of my friends tweeted a reference about David Cross and Chris Elliott in that movie. I thought I had a fond memory of it. I watched it. Turns out I didn't. There's like 2 or 3 how did I describe it to Stephanie after I watched it? It's like 60%, maybe more generous, 50% sex, farts, sexual assault, humor that is bottom of the barrel. It's about half that. And it's about 30% or 40% cultural references, including a Nike commercial that I totally forgot existed, which has a whole like dedicated 4 minutes of the movie. And then 10% really good. Is that 10? 20%? 20% really good Zucker Brothers style slapstick. That's the funny stuff. I did laugh. I will admit, but last time I saw this movie, maybe in the theater when it came out when I was like 14, I can't believe I saw that in the theater. I did laugh when Anna Faris's character is running away from a skeleton, and Brenda sees the skeleton as like gives her a hard time for running away from a skeleton. I did find that funny. And Chris Elliott, his little boopy boop, I didn't want to laugh, but Chris Elliott got me. He's so good at being disgusting. Even though that honestly that role, it feels like punching down. It feels ableist and fucked up. There's just something so cartoonish about Chris Elliott's little animatronic hand. I laughed, and I don't know what that says about me, but I laughed. Okay, y'all, I could keep telling you about the movies I watched. If you're just joining us, we're going to have a shorter stream tonight. Stephanie is out. But no matter where you are in a video store. I'm your clerk/host, Adam Protextor. You can follow us on Instagram at You Are in a Video Store. We would appreciate it if you subscribe to our Twitch. You are on UltraLoop, which has a lot of great other streams, but on Tuesdays at 7, it's video store time. First third of the show, we talk about what we all watched, see some of that action in the chat happening. Second, we're going to go into some new arrivals. I got one fun unboxing with a sad twist. And then the third part of the show, we'll get into Movie Club. Now, Movie Club is a thing where we pick a movie every week. Last time it was Halloween 2018, but since we're doing a shorter stream, and I just want to talk to friends, let's talk about Halloween 2018. Okay. I guess generally also we try to give some sort of a recommendation for our capsule review of things. So Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I recommend. What else are we talking about? Exorcist 3, I recommend just to fans of acting and le cinema. It's a great movie. William Peter Blatty, I was very surprised by his chops as a director. I mean, a novelist who adapts their own novel into a screenplay and then directs that screenplay. I did expect a bit more indulgence and not following the thread, but tight movie. Okay. Scary Movie 2, I don't recommend unless you just have a hankering for that particular era of comedy. And that's where we're at. Okay, here we got some thoughts. Holden Wook, I feel like it was over a month ago that we watched it, but it was literally the day before the election. Yeah, we watched Halloween 2018 on Halloween. We had a good... That is so... Yeah, you're right, because, like, we didn't even get to talk about all the stuff. On Halloween, we watched House, Night of the Demons, which also takes place on Halloween, and Halloween 2018. And then I watched Bride of Frankenstein after that, which was the best thing I watched probably all season. Halloween 2018. Okay, I liked this movie. I wouldn't say I loved it. I thought that it was very solid. Now I'm going to go ahead and just say that I am someone who really likes the Laurie Strode, Michael Myers trilogy of Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and Halloween H2O 20 years later. I like that trilogy. I think H2O already has that badass Laurie seeking revenge in it. It feels final. It feels like a trilogy. It feels like a story to me. I like it, but I'm going to go ahead and set that aside and say, let's pretend I have no qualms whatsoever about ignoring those movies and saying that this is a straight sequel. I don't know why we need so many divergent timelines for this particular franchise, but we have them. So let's say I'm going to treat it just like I treated Rob Zombies and say it's a total reinvention, even though it wants to have 1 foot in the world of reinvention and 1 foot in the world of, no, I'm a real sequel, whatever. Ontological dilemmas aside, let's take this movie for what it is. So, as a sequel to Halloween, I think it works, but I think it misses a few things. And I do think that it is a good modern updating of that 70s indie style, with, you know, the lateral shots, the horizontal point of view, the ability to kind of create the normal world, paint the normal world in a threatening way. But as Vineet, as you said to me, I think via text, it doesn't really capture the horror of Michael appearing anywhere or lurking, that sort of omnipresent terror of the shape being there. And it also traffics on our fandom in ways I was not surprised by for a movie that is how many years later is that sequel? Halloween 78, right? Damn, yeah, 78. So Halloween 2018 is what? Forgive my... Okay, 40. It's like, it can't be 50. Okay, that tracks. So, yeah, 40. Thank you. So 40 years, I get that they're going to, like... The fandom in the meantime has built up these expectations. There were some things that I felt were like little winks that I don't ever love winks. I'm a fan of things, but I want to be a fan of them on their terms, not on my terms. It's sort of like, this is a weird analogy, but it's sort of like when you get like a prop, when you're a kid and you get like a prop and it's like a Spider-Man glove or something. Let's say Spider-Man glove. And maybe this is just me, but like when I was a kid, if I had that Spider-Man glove, I don't know why I never had one of those. I don't know, it's my example. But if it had like a logo on it that said Spider-Man, I don't want it, because then I'm not pretending I'm Spider-Man. Then I'm aware it's a Spider-Man toy. You know what I mean? There's a difference. That's my clumsy analogy, but I think what I mean is I don't like when movies are aware that I'm a fan of them before they exist, a priori. And so that's hard for sequels, especially down the line, because that's a big part of the reason they were funded, right? So I don't know. I don't want to hold that against it. I think David Gordon Green and Danny McBride wrote a really smart screenplay. I loved the ending of it. I didn't love some of the winkiness, like Laurie's body disappearing, a la Michael's body disappearing in the first one. I felt like some of those rhyming moments were unearned. But I did appreciate the ending. My only other criticism of it is that it has a lot of arcs, and I think that's where it misses the sharpness of the first one. And granted, if you want to say this is a new exploration and sequels world build and sequels expand, that's fair. I think that's actually a totally fair argument to say, well, it's just world building. But the original Halloween works and is embedded into all of our minds because it is so singularly focused on really three characters as they survive the night. And then everyone else is kind of evidence of the danger, the people who don't survive. Whereas this one had a lot of characters and wanted to tell a multi-generational story that it could have simplified. I mean, it wanted to traffic in a few different places. It wanted to have that David Gordon Green, Danny McBride dialogue. It also wanted to be like a teen movie in a way that the original was, while also, I don't really even know what my criticism here is, other than I thought it was a very smart idea that had a little too much going on. And I think if they trimmed a little bit of the fat, tightened it up a little, I would have liked it more. That said, I don't dislike this by any stretch. I think it's a fine film. As a sequel, I think it works great. Michael in it was scary. And it's doomed to a certain extent because it's the sequel to a beloved, perfect film. So I guess, I don't know, maybe that's a cop-out, maybe that's a non-opinion. What do y'all think? I just spoke for quite a while on what I thought. So Vineet and I disagreed on that, the switcheroo shots, the rhyming. I think it was because the movie felt so full around those that they almost reminded me of the simpler storytelling that I kind of think I'm going to get when I go to Halloween. Maybe I just don't think of this franchise as like a sprawling multi-generational epic. I think about it as a very personal grudge story. And I think that obviously was there in the movie, but I just think it wasn't there enough. And I don't know if that's a producer thing or a script decision or what. But yeah, Michael is always terrifying, so that was enough to enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I think Michael Myers is just the shape is such a perfect distillation of that fear. More than Jason, more than Freddy. I mean, Freddy's personality puts him over the top, makes him cartoonish. And Jason's, also got like a backstory. Well, they all have backstories. I think Jason's also monsterized in a way. He's undead. He's zombified, child of the lagoon. Michael's just a bad person with a blank face. Just evil. I mean, as Sam Loomis would say, he looked into his eyes and saw only evil. I don't know what he actually says. By the way, one of my favorite line readings ever is Malcolm McDowell in Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but I used to clown on this so hard. At the end, the Laurie character says to him, he's Sam Loomis in it, and she says something like, "Do you believe the boogeyman was real?" Or was that, she says, "Was that the boogeyman?" And he goes, "I do believe it maybe was." I just fucking love that reading. It's so dumb. Okay, I like expanding the mythology of Michael, but nothing revealing an unknown history. Just except, unless you get into Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut. And that's when you get Paul Rudd summoning Michael with runes, and you get this legend about the runes and the supernatural witchcraft that created Michael, and it's you hate it or you like it. They call that a late franchise lore dump. This is the same as Freddy being visited by dream demons in the final 3D sequence of Freddy's Dead, which I did watch in 3D, by the way, and it was really fun. And it's the same as the Jason Goes to Hell spirit. Oh, sorry. I guess I was... Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Vinny. Sorry, I thought in general you were saying you like expanding the mythology, and I was just making fun of the 6th movie, which does that in a really dumb way. Or a good way. Whatever. It's actually very contentious. Yes, they rewrite it back to where he's just that guy, not the brother. That's the thing. And I have to just let that go, because neither version, you get into such tricky territory when you start talking about versions or timelines that are better. But I will say I prefer the trilogy where there is a familial connection, because it works really well as a trilogy. The first one is a self-contained arc that establishes the characters and provides a clear win for our main character. Star Wars, The Matrix, every first entry in a trilogy, Halloween. The second one expands the history, or expands the mythology like you're talking about, and ups the stakes a little bit. Halloween 2 as the family thing. Halloween 2 is where they find out they're brother and sister. It's the Vader moment. And then the third one, Halloween H2O, you break that apart and you reanalyze and you go back to the beginning, and Laurie gets her revenge at the end of Halloween H2O, and it's really satisfying. I mean, I don't know the last time you watched it, but the end of Halloween H2O, she wins. So I like that. I like that trilogy structure. But again, I can set that aside, and movies get remade all the time. They have since the beginning of movies. That's a common misconception. You should look up remakes of the 30s and 50s sometime, because boy, is it a tradition. And so whatever, I'm not going to get attached to one arc. It's still there. It still exists. And Halloween 2018 was fun, scary, effective, brutal, smartly scripted, and very well acted, with an incredibly satisfying ending. So what am I going to say other than I kind of still prefer the brother-sister story? I mean, who cares what I prefer? They're both out there. They're all fun. There's only one really bad Halloween movie, and it stars one of the greatest rappers of all time. So hey, even when you lose, you win a little bit. Did you guys have any other? That's my bow I'm tying on my thoughts of this movie. But did you have any other thoughts on Halloween 2018 you wanted to explore or get into? Any favorite parts? I'm gonna give you all a second, and I'm gonna look at my list. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna save a couple of what I watched, because they are holiday horror movies, and our theme coming up this week is holiday horror. That's what we're gonna jump back into. Or just saying if there's anything else you wanted to talk about with 2018, or if there's any other movies you watched that you want to jump into, please let me know. I was just noting that I was going to keep talking about what I watched / new arrival stuff, but whatever, we can go wherever. And I was going to say a few of these I'm going to skip because they are going to be holiday horror movies, and I want to talk about them this coming week. So our movie club this week is going to be holiday horror. Just to nicely segue us into the holiday season. And I did watch Jack Frost from 1997 and Uncle Sam from 96. I actually loved Uncle Sam. It was a really good watch on an election week, and I think it was a lot smarter than it seems. Watched Django Unchained last night because, it's weird being like, yeah, everything's good. Oh, I'm just getting word, folks, that the President of the United States is attempting a coup. All right. It doesn't make me feel great. And so watching Django Unchained, watching a bunch of slavers die brutal deaths, was cathartic and nice, helped me. It's the same thing I watched in November 2016, and it's helping me. Revisionist violent histories have helped me this week. Bad Hair, nice. You watched Django last week? Nice. What is... Okay, I love that movie so much. I'm curious, Will, did you feel like what did you choose to watch it for the catharsis of seeing that same thing, or was it just kind of like, let's throw this on? Because it kind of started as a let's throw this on, and then it was like, oh shit. Yeah, Stephanie was saying that she feels like it gets better every time, and I do too. Like, I think when I first saw it, it felt a little more rock and roll than his other things, a little less polished. But every time I watch it, I'm like, oh no, this is very thoughtfully put together. Y'all wanna see something? My favorite thing about this movie. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna attempt to I have to do this in a weird way. No, well, I was gonna download the pic and throw it in the chat, but you know what? It might be actually easier is if I just find a picture of it and drop the link in the chat. Okay, so there is a painting called The Blue Boy. And let me find this. Yes, there it is. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So, The Blue Boy is a painting that influenced the... if you just look up the Blue Boy painting, it is a painting that influenced Django's costume, the blue ruffles. And 24 years ago, this is the fact that I was making sure I confirmed. 24 years ago, it was sold to hang across, and let's see, the Huntington Library's collection is a painting called Pinky, which is a similar painting, created 24 years after Gainsborough's Blue Boy. Okay, so these paintings are hung basically in a way that suggests they're looking at each other longingly, that they're separated, and that they were sold separately. And that is the inspiration for the costume in Django, is my point, is the Blue Boy. The reason he is dressed like that is not only to imply the historical significance of the Blue Boy painting, but also in a meta way to reference the fact that that painting was eventually paired with a painting that was its mate, and that it was missing. So just love it. I love the thought. I love the escape sequence early on, the freedom sequence that just comes out of the blue when Django sees I forget his name, but the big guy with the Bible verses on him on the plantation, when he sees that and he gets the flashback. Just a beautiful, amazing, satisfying movie. Such a great ending. The other fun little Easter egg there is that the von Schaft family, the idea being that Django and Broomhilda von Schaft are the great grandparents of John Shaft from Shaft, as in Can You Dig It? Shaft. Love that movie so much. What else? Let's see here. Now, I have a new arrival I want to show because it's fun, but I have one. Oh, okay, two more. Let me grab these, actually. I got my little stack over here, and I feel beholden to my headphones tonight. All right, guys. Alrighty. Cool. So I got a little stack here, and here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just go ahead and talk to you about, because some of these are new arrivals. So here's the section of the show where we transition into new arrivals from what we watch. Let me do the transition, make it official. And did it? New arrivals. Okay, y'all. What came this week? This is one that I watched. Finally found this. This was like, finally found this at a good price. This movie's called Peacock King. The art is terrible. It's a bootleg, and it was rather expensive bootleg. It was $15 on eBay for this, but it's the first time I've seen it for below $90. I don't know why. This movie needs a release. Hong Kong Rescue. Please come to the rescue of Peacock King. This movie was awesome, but it's also like, I remember very little of it because it's just so full of magic and set pieces. It is full of amazing creature effects. Truly an awesome supernatural Hong Kong action movie, Peacock King, if you get a chance. The other one that was a new arrival that I've been meaning to watch and wanting to watch, finally, The Mist. The Blu-ray for this is stupid expensive. It's way out of print. And I bought the DVD because that's the only way you can watch the black and white version, and that's what I wanted to watch. I'd never seen the black and white version. Stephanie had never seen the movie, period. We watched it. Probably not the best choice to watch it after the election, or right before the election, because it's a pretty gutting movie, but damn, I just can't recommend the black and white version enough. It cleared up so many of the things that were my problems with the movie the first time, namely just like the aesthetic, the monster look. It rendered everything so much more believable and classic, and really did demonstrate that this movie is an ode to the atomic age monster movie. Yeah, it's the director's cut. The director's cut is a black and white version. This, The Mist and Mad Max Fury Road being the two that the directors wanted to put them out in black and white. The studios said, no fucking way, no one's going to pay for that. And so they did color versions of it, and then later the black and white's on the disc. Both of them, I'll agree with the directors, they're better in black and white. The Mist feels much more like a classic monster movie. It covers up some of the CG that hasn't aged as well, and it just flattens everything out into much more mythic space. Now, Mad Max Fury Road, I'm going to be kind of dramatic here, and I warn you of this. I'm going to be dramatic. I think, okay, and I think this was my actual ranking. I want to make sure. I'm never going to find that in time. I did a top 30 films of the, as I do. I've done two now, top 30 of each decade, top 30 of the 2010s. I think my number one pick was Mad Max Fury Road, Black and Chrome Edition. I really can't recommend that enough. I think it was my number one pick of the decade. Not the color version. I love the color version. It's a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic. But there's something about turning those bright oranges and blues into blacks and whites and grays that just it reduces and elevates that movie to be the purest, most base and beautifully captured form of cinema. Just light movement. That's it. Anyway. Okay, so I got this. Yes, in black, it has depth, baby. Also, there's apparently George Miller's real official version of that he wanted. Was not only black and white, but dialogue free. I really wish I could watch it, because when you rewatch that movie, you do discover that a lot of the dialogue you don't need. You don't need people being like, go that way. No, follow him. I mean, you don't need that. I know. They can grunt and drive in that direction, and I will get it. Okay, so coming up next, I'm shamed that I bought this, y'all. It was $12, and look, I've heard about these movies. I've Googled them before. They're always notoriously hard to find. They were put out on DVD years ago. They're out of print. They're like $90 each, and there's 6 movies. They're $90 each on DVD, out of print. Never gonna do that. Also, these are like whispered about movies that are like the most fucked up, gory movies of all time. They're made as almost gore experiments. Like they were some outsider artists in Japan made them. I found it on eBay while looking, because out of curiosity during Halloween, as one does, and I found it for $12 on a bootleg manufactured on demand Blu-ray. They're called the Guinea Pig movies. I don't know if I can in good conscience recommend this to anyone. I don't know if I'm ready to watch it. Sometimes when I buy things, most of the time when I buy things, I would say I'm buying it out of a sense of excitement to watch it. Sometimes when I'm buying things, I'm buying it out of a sense of preservation and archival, because I do take this whole like movie collection thing seriously as a long-term goal to archive. And so just knowing the infamy of these films and the rarity of these films, I had to jump at it, but it's probably going to sit on my shelf for a while staring at me. If you Google it, don't judge me. No, that's why I bought it. It's called Guinea Pig. It's all fake. It is all fake, but it's apparently not pretty. Cool. Another thing, now we talked about the Shout Factory Friday the 13th set, but the Friday the 13th Part 3 that comes in the Shout Factory set is 3D for 3D TV. If you have a 3D TV in your life, hold on to it, because they're no longer manufactured, and they're incredibly rare, and they're getting to be more expensive than new TVs. So I don't really have a great way of watching the few 3D Blu-rays that I've collected over the years, even though I'd love to, and Friday would be one I'd love to see in a nice, modern 3D. But since I don't have that ability, and since the Shout Factory set came out and no one wants these old Friday discs anymore, and it was $3 on Amazon, I ordered it so that I could get the stereoscopic red and blue 3D cut of Friday 3D. I've never seen it in 3D. I've only ever seen it on tape or the Shout Factory Blu-ray. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and slide this disc on top of the other one in the Shout Factory set and call it that, just so that I have an option to watch that. I was inspired after watching Freddy's Dead, which ends in 3D. Cool, and then I promised y'all a few of the criterions, but you know what? We'll just save that, because I want to do an Agnes Varda unboxing, and that's not what we're doing tonight, and we've talked about these enough, so I'm going to scooch these. We'll talk about those later, because I actually know what I want to watch, or what I want to unbox. We'll also scooch this. This is an Arrow from the same sale. I'll wait until the other Arrow comes in. Now, one Arrow that I did want to talk about is Society. This is not a new arrival. It's been here for a little bit, but like I said, we're blurring the lines between sections tonight, and here's my blurred line between New Arrival and what I watched, because Vineet, I knew that you watched this. I knew you saw it for the first time. I saw you posting about it. You texted me about it, and I watched it last night, specifically to be able to talk about it with you. I loved this movie. I'd only seen it once on tape. This Arrow Blu-ray was really wonderful restoration. I really dig this movie. If you haven't seen Society, Brian Yuzna, who there's a fantastic interview with on this disc. Brian Yuzna's movie, now he directed Bride of Reanimator. He also produced Reanimator. Him and Stuart Gordon collaborated on many films, most notably Reanimator and From Beyond. I kind of think of Reanimator, From Beyond, and Society as like the essential like Yuzna-Gordon trilogy from the 80s. And this movie, if you haven't seen it, it's really just like go in knowing as little as possible. Here's my log line for you. Oh yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I always forget that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was written by Stuart Gordon. I love that shit. And Vineet, I know you said it was kind of slow going until the end when your jaw dropped. I feel the same way, but I didn't even feel it was that slow going this time. Maybe it's because I think maybe I've lowered my standards by watching so many cheesy, low-budget horror movies that I'm just like, whatever, nothing's going to happen for half this movie. They're padding time. I was actually felt pretty rewarded by the slow build of the mystery, and I felt like there were placements of effects throughout that gave you a little taste of that like grossness and that unease. And I also know that you're not... I'm not misinterpreting slow going for like negative either. I'm just saying like I kind of just like, yeah, I enjoyed sitting with it. I did enjoy the performances. I kind of just enjoyed the creepiness. And like I said, I don't want to spoil this. If you have a chance to watch Society, I believe it's streaming for free on Prime. Society, it's really gross, but not for most of the movie. And without giving anything away, just say it's the story of a young man who doesn't know where he fits in with his family or social group or class, who feels ostracized and left out, and then he starts to sniff out that there might be a conspiratorial and perhaps disgusting reason for that. That's where I'll leave it. It's about family panic. It's about panic against the status quo. I mean, it's called Society. It's right there. It's awesome. You know, I feel like Society would actually be... It's a story of people coming together. Absolutely. It is very much that. Yeah, that's really beautiful. And I think it would make a really good double feature with They Live. Now that I think about it, just because I've watched both pretty recently. Also, Vineet, can I just say, the main character kid in this movie, this main character dude looks like... I couldn't tell if he was... Michael J. Fox, Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, or John Stamos. It's like a combination of all those people. And depending on the lighting, I was like, man, I really like watching this guy. But I realized it's because he was giving me like young Martin Sheen, Michael J. Fox energy. But anyway, Society, high recommends across the board, as long as you have a strong stomach. And now the big unboxing. I was really happy this came. We haven't unboxed something this big since Gamera. Now I am a little bit sad because I was very excited. Basically, Arrow Blu-ray, Arrow Video just released a slimmed down version of this box set, which is a little slide on the shelf version with individual sleeves. And I ordered that for myself really excitedly, but I didn't know this existed. And so that came. I learned about this, and what I did was, because I was able to get the other one a few weeks before Street Date, I flipped it and got this one instead. And I really love this box set. I've only watched, I've seen several of these movies before. I've only watched one of the discs so far. Now, the sad thing here is, and I'll show you, is that my cat also took an interest. My cat also took an active interest. And so you can see that spooky boy, right? Yeah. and that's kind of what I tried to tell myself. Will was like, I'm bummed out that the cat fucked it up so much, and I have considered buying a new one. I've waffled back and forth on, do I try to flip this one again and get a new one, and do I think I can find that deal? Is it worth it? Or, does it just add to the shitty cereal box vibe? I don't know. But let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and unbox this. First of all, we got Herschel Gordon Lewis on the front there. The Feast box set. The side absolutely designed to look like a cereal box with a list of 14 movies that come included in it. Those 14 movies are Blood Feast. You may have heard of some of these. I'm going to tell you the ones I've seen because I've mostly seen his gore movies. Now, Herschel Gordon Lewis had a little bit of a moment in the sun in 2007 when a lot of these movies were put out by Something Weird Video, which is a great old distributor that put out a lot of exploitation, 70s porn, weird horror, late night public access clips. Something Weird Video was a great archival company of trash exploitation. And they were named after one of these movies, named after Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. The reason that he came kind of like back into the limelight in 2007, though, was really more to the movie Juno, is there is a argument in that movie between Juno and whatever Jason Bateman's character's name is about Dario Argento or Herschel Gordon Lewis, which is a stupid argument because they're nothing alike. But Herschel Gordon Lewis is the godfather of gore. This is the guy who in the 60s was getting real animal blood and organs and making disgusting gore movies and freaking out the powers that be. And also, through doing so, really cementing a legacy of independent horror filmmaking and independent American filmmaking. And some of these movies are fantastic. So, I mean, well, the ones I've seen I love. Okay, so Blood Feast, his Blood trilogy was what he was famous for when he began. Those would be Blood Feast, 2000 Maniacs, and Color Me Blood Red. I've seen the Blood Feast. I've seen the Blood trilogy. Watched Color Me Blood Red for the first time this year. That's about a painter who obsessively he realizes that he can't get the color that he wants or get the respect from the critics that he wants unless he uses blood for his reds, and he has to start killing for it. Then Blood Feast is about an Egyptian pharaoh conducting an organ feast, harvesting organs for a feast to bring himself back to life. And 2000 Maniacs is about a couple of Yankees who end up in a Confederate, literally a ghost town, a town that only appears every 100 years, and they accidentally get captured as the guests of honor by this horrifying Confederate small town who then torture them to death for their centennial celebration. And then Scum of the Earth, it's a trashploitation, Moonshine Mountains, Hicksploitation, something weird, a little sexploitation, gruesome twosome, more gore, taste of blood, more gore, She-Devils on Wheels, that's motorcycle exploitation, girl exploitation. Just for the hell of it, I don't know what Just for the hell of it is. How to Make a Doll, The Wizard of Gore, that's another great gore movie that I've seen. The Wizard of Gore, the plot is that a magician does disgustingly gory things to his volunteers on stage, like using a press drill into their stomach, and they're miraculously fine until 2 days later when they die of their injuries very disgustingly. And the Gore Girls, also seen that. That's a fun one. And then This Stuff Will Kill Ya. So, as you can see, nice sturdy box other than the kitty damage. And then inside, I'm not really sure why this choice was made, but I mean, it's kind of cool. It got the two books, and one of them on the spine says The Films of Herschel Gordon Lewis, Volume 1, 63 through 67, and the second being 68 through 72. And then they're all, the deluxe version, they're all very nicely put in here, and these cardboard sleeves, this art, each disc coming on top with the Blu-ray and on bottom with the DVD. And you can see the little British ratings there. That is because Arrow, if you don't know, is a UK company, and only a few of their UK releases are all region, meaning we can play them on our players in the States without having a region-free or a cracked player. And this is one of them. So you can still buy this new from UK retailers, or you can maybe find a deal on it on eBay. And the other little insert that I thought was so fun was this kind of a EC style or like 60s trash style magazine or book, this hardcover, and it's just got a little activity for each movie. So some of them it's a little writing, a little art, others it's little encouraging you to draw along, use your own blood to help the artist fill in the painting. It's got, if I can find it, How to Make a Doll, little paper doll. It's got a word search. It's just in general a fake activity book based on the movies that are included, and it's fun. This is a wonderful set. Oh dang, there's a network error. Well, I hope I'm still connected. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, my apologies if anyone got booted. Looks like while I was doing that, maybe... I'll give everyone a second. Vinny just texted me a photo of a gorgeous version of sorry. Okay. Okay, sorry, y'all. Vinny just texted me a gorgeous photo of the black and white, black and chrome edition of Fury Road in a steelbook. Normally, I don't go for steelbooks, but I could go for that one. I have a very bare bones release of it that I got just for the movie. I drove 40 minutes to go get that disc on the day it came out so I could watch it. Well, that's the new arrivals section, y'all. Let's hop into Movie Club. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and what can we watch? Dang, I wish I had a video. The only video I have is Gorgar, which is a pro voting video you've all seen and is no longer relevant. Look, I'm gonna do a little hold up on the stream. We're gonna go ahead and let's see here. You know, I keep looking for something to tide y'all over, but look, I gotta go pee. That's all it is. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I'm like, I could put on this movie. You can talk amongst yourselves. I'm back. Oh, Krang. It's okay. We all got disconnected. I don't know what happened. I had a network error on my end. Probably the cat. I'm just going to blame the cat. He's already gotten enough blame tonight. You know, he's already been thrown under the bus for this box set damage. Which, by the way, I did pick up the Agnes Varda set. We're going to unbox it next week. And I really want to do an Agnes Varda week. Agnes Varda is a French filmmaker. Criterion Collection put out a really nice box set of all of her movies. I gotta love a good complete collection. And I did pick it up at the Criterion sale, which just started. If you're a movie buyer, 50% off on Arrow and Criterion. And one warning, one word to the wise here. Use it on, like I always recommend people do a big ticket items if they can, get that savings, because it's 50% off Barnes & Noble's full list price. So, right, like normally you can get a Criterion for around $28 on Amazon, or a Arrow for about $28 on Amazon. During the sale, it is 50% off of $40, which is the MSRP price. So it's $20 each. So sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you can probably find it for that price year round. So I used it to pick up that Varda set. And we're going to unbox it, but why did I start thinking about that? I started thinking about it because the cat, I also had it standing on the counter. I just got it, literally had just brought it in the house. It wasn't unwrapped yet. It was sitting on the counter. I went to the bathroom and I came back and the cat had pushed it on the floor and it got a little tear on it. But you know what? We're not going to cry over spilled. If only I knew the French word for milk, that would have been a good joke. Okay, you know what? Like I said, we're doing a short stream tonight. Been going about an hour so far. Stephanie is out tonight. I want to talk about Movie Club, but we already did Halloween 2018, so let's talk about some holiday horror movies. I would really love to know if y'all have any movies set around the holidays or any scary movies in general that take place around holidays that you want to submit for this. And I'm going to go ahead and bring over my stack of shit that I'm going to try and watch. And there's a few of it, a little bit of it streaming as well. Hey, welcome back, y'all. Sorry that we got kicked off there and had a little bit of a fracas. I don't know what to say. I ran to the bathroom, checked my phone. We still are fighting off. Who knew? This week has felt so long. I almost didn't do the stream, but I wanted to because I look forward to being able to connect with y'all. I look forward to this to escape the world. I just went to the bathroom and looked at my phone on Twitter for 5 seconds. No, I don't need that right now. I need to believe that a coup is not possible and is not happening. So let me grab the holiday stack. These are movies that I want to watch for the holidays. We're going to come back next Tuesday and talk about holiday horror. That's the theme of the week. And after that, we'll do themes if y'all want to do themes. We won't do themes if y'all don't want to do themes. Like we might do an Agnes Varda week or a French cinema week, or we might just say whatever, watch whatever you want. Because I think one thing Stephanie and I both kind of agreed on is that the themes can feel a little bit like they're boxing you in at a certain point, where we're so anticipating wanting to watch movies that are in this theme to talk to y'all about it that we feel like we're passing up moments of organic. Let's throw this on. And so want to bake that in, so there's that ability. Let me grab this real quick. The Gordon Yuzna trilogy, again, totally just using the word trilogy very loosey-goosey here. But the three I always think of are Reanimator, From Beyond, and Society as being kind of the three effects-driven, weird-ass movies. From Beyond, in particular, is awesome. Yeah, I really like it a lot. Okay, cool. Let me grab my stack. Grabbing my stack's over here. Grabbing my stack and I'm stacking my beer. I'm grabbing my stack's over here. Yeah, I'm grabbing my stack and I'm stacking my beer. Got a stack, got a stack. Got the stack, got it back. It's time to get that stack. It's over here. It's taking me longer than I meant to. Hey, also this movie, The Golden Coach by Jean Renoir. I threw that on a few nights ago, and it's really, really delightful. I'm really excited to watch more of Jean Renoir's late movies because the Technicolor work in it was beautiful, and it was funny and funny and modern and wonderful. All right, we're back. Bet. Okay, cool. So here's the holiday horror movies that I've stacked up, and let me just say the ones that aren't here are going to be Gremlins. Gremlins. Silent Night, Deadly Night is over there on the shelf. Ugh. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Obviously a big one. Gremlins, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and oh my god, what are the others? Oh, the streaming ones. Here, I'm gonna write these down in the chat. Gremlins, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Really good one. Holidays, which is on Netflix. It's an anthology. Have not seen it yet. April Fool's Day is when we're going to be watching. That one is on Prime. And My Bloody Valentine is another one we're going to be watching that's on Prime. And then in terms of the physical ones, Leprechaun, I got hosed, y'all. I got hosed good. I bought this Leprechaun. It was advertised as a promotional gold tape of Leprechaun. It is a gold tape. Pretty cool. Pretty neat. That's cool and all. But the thing is that, one, this is a thing video stores used to do where they would put a sticker on a box. This is a printed sticker of Leprechaun. It is not the original box. You can tell from the texture. And two, this copy of Leprechaun was put out by Vidmark and Trimark. But someone forgot to take off a little Paramount sticker on this tape. You can also tell that this has been, hear that? That's glue. So basically someone case swapped this, probably with a gold tape from Godfather Part 3, and put the Leprechaun sticker on it and bootlegged a box. And you know what? Whatever. Like, it's probably the spools from the Leprechaun tape. So as long as it's the original spools, I'm getting the same movie experience. It's cool to have a gold tape version. I do feel a little ripped off knowing that I got duped, but it wasn't enough of a rip-off to worry. So Leprechaun is on the list. Into the New Year movies, we got a few here. Going by holiday, we got Bloody New Year. I watched the first half of Bloody New Year the other night. There's a reason I only watched the first half of it. This is one of my favorite covers ever. I'm going to finish it. I will finish it to have an opinion on it. I can see why it's not more famous. Another movie, New Year's Evil. That's one that just came. I was actually really happy I found this because it's out of print. And finally, another out of print and takes place on New Year's horror movie. And this one, a classic slasher, Terror Train. So we got 3 New Year's horror movies here: Bloody New Year, New Year's Evil, and Terror Train. We got Leprechaun. We got 4th of July horror, Uncle Sam. I'm going to go ahead and also say Jaws falls into that category. I'm going to write that down because I don't have the disc here. And then, of course, the big one here. Oh, there's one more I got to get out of the way here. And that is April Fool's Day, Slaughter High. Got another one of these nice Vestron discs. That's Slaughter High. April Fool's Day, and then of course the big one, Christmas horror. So we have Silent Night, Deadly Night, as previously mentioned. Jack Frost, which we just watched. This is why I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. This movie has 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't know that going in. I loved this movie. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. Next up, Black Christmas. Black Christmas is one I haven't seen. Bob Clark. Vineet, I know you watched this not too long ago. I know I need to watch this. I know it's a really big blind spot for me, and I'm so excited. Saving it to watch with Steph this week. Another one, Christmas Evil. This was once put out by Trauma. This here is a Synapse Films release, as was the Jack Frost. And then Mondo Macabro, one of my favorite distributors, has this UK horror movie, Don't Open Till Christmas, which is about a slasher who kills Santas. And then, of course, Elves. Now, Elves is a pretty difficult to find VHS. This is a bootleg, but this is the kind of bootleg you buy knowing it's a bootleg and happy because someone actually put effort into making it a nice package. So this one actually came with some stickers inside of it. It came with a warrant trading card. It came with some horror stamps, and it's got these nice. I don't know if you can see that. A nice Elves sticker, green top, and this is actually someone who loves and respects the VHS format, putting something together that's nice for people who don't want to spend, $100 on the original release just because it's a collector's item. Like me, I just want the movie. So now I can watch the movie. Cool. So that's the stack. Silent Night, Deadly Night, of course, being included. So I wrote some of those down. I don't want to write them all down right now. What I think we should do is from the list of movies, from holiday horror movies, keeping in mind I am going to hit enter on this. No, you know what? I'll write them down because if I don't, we won't remember and it'll just be hard and difficult. So let's say Don't Open Till Christmas. Okay. Black Christmas. Okay. Let's see here. Christmas Evil. Now those all have the word Christmas in them. And then we got New Year's Evil as well. Okay. And then we got Bloody New Year. Okay. And again, if you follow us on Instagram at You Are In a Video Store, well, that is the perfect spot to see this, because we will always update and post a graphic letting you know what is our theme of the week. What are we trying to watch together? Slaughter High. And Terror Train. Yeah, cool. And what the staff picks are. So Stephanie's not here tonight, so she's not going to have a staff pick. I think I just saw something fantastic. I'm going to have to revisit my list again. I swear I would remember literally nothing I watched if I didn't keep a list. Man, I'm going to try and pick one for my staff pick this week that's not horror, since we've all been in a really horror headspace for a long time. Let's see here. Man, I don't even know what I want my staff pick to be this week, because I feel so... You know what? Fuck it. Django Unchained, baby. That's my staff pick this week. That's what's going on my staff section this week, is Django Unchained. I had a great time watching it. And chat, I know there's only a few people. I think maybe we're experiencing some connection problems tonight, and also it's just the stream's not as good without Stephanie here. But I do want the few people who are gonna make sure to I want basically our movie club folks to have some say in what this movie is. I think it was really nice that we all got to watch the same thing this week. But yeah, let me know if you have a movie club pick out of the holidays realm that stands out to you. And if not, no worries. Movie club pick. I'm tempted to say Black Christmas. Yeah, I'll make those. That's a good idea, Will. I love that. I need to. We'll get there. We'll get there. You know, stream. We're this stream's doing pretty well. Like, I'll just say, we've seen, like, obviously we've seen some bumpiness with the election and everything. But, like, I really appreciate y'all being here. This stream has, like, we're seeing that metric growth do well, and I'm really interested in Uncle Sam. I'm really interested in seeing where it goes, and I'm interested in doing some merch stuff. Okay, so we got a vote for Uncle Sam. I watched Uncle Sam, so I'm right there with you. I will tell you that Stephanie and I already watched Silent Night, Deadly Night too, so that's one she's seen. And yeah, I mean, I really highly recommend Uncle Sam. It's very interesting. It's Larry Cohen. Larry Cohen, who I love, who I wrote a long piece on Larry Cohen. I love him and studied him and adore him. He has a lot of stuff he's just written the screenplay to. William Lustig directed that one. Black Christmas is streaming right now. And man, it is... that's a good point. Which one? There are 3 Black Christmases. So I am explicitly referencing the original, which I have not seen. And then I really want to watch Black Xmas, which is the Michelle Trachtenberg remake. And then there's one from 2019 that is apparently a total flip that I haven't heard much of, other than I was reading some takes and seemed that it was like very much like a revenge movie, like a feminist revenge movie. Said a bunch of Brett Kavanaughs being killed, which sounds fun on paper. Let's see here. Black Christmas, 1974, streaming. I'm curious, because I think a lot of the releases that, first of all, Black Christmas, the rights have always been up in the air. It's been in a lot of hands, so it's likely to not be too protected. Number 2 is most of the Shout Factory releases are also licensed for Prime. So I'm going to look. Yes, Jack Frost is a creature feature. Jack Frost is about Jack Frost and Uncle Sam both came out in the late 90s, 96 and 97, and they both had lenticular changing covers. So you probably remember them from being a kid in the video store. You probably remember seeing the Uncle Sam that turned into the monster face and the snowman that turned into the evil snowman face. Those lenticular tapes are a little harder to find. Honestly, I bought them on Blu-ray, and that was cheaper than getting the lenticular tapes. Let's see here. Black Christmas, 1974. Okay, so it's not free on Prime unless you have AMC. But I did see it was free on YouTube. That's fascinating. Let's see here. Sorry, y'all. I'm just looking. Come back to the chat in a moment here. I wonder if that's the quality of that is any good whatsoever. Sorry, ads. Hulu ads. Wow, that looks very low resolution. Okay, so Black Christmas 74 is free with ads on YouTube. Not ideal, but cool. And Jack Frost is fun, but like it's really it's fun. I don't know how much we'll have to unpack about Jack Frost. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, seeing some love for Uncle Sam and Jack Frost from you, Vineet. I watched both of those in the past week. So I'm prepared for either one of those. And then like I know you've seen Black Christmas and liked it. That's the one I was leaning towards because it's like I don't know, for the movie club pick, trying to pick something that's like a bit, I don't know, more of a foray. So My Bloody Valentine is the other one I'm going to throw out there because I haven't seen it. And it is often talked about as like one of people's favorite slashers. It's a Valentine's movie from the 80s. So that one is another one that always that comes up a lot. Yeah, I guess let's take a little vote here. We got Jack Frost, Uncle Sam, Black Christmas, and well, really any of these. Silent Night, Deadly Night. But let's try and say Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, My Bloody Valentine, Jack Frost, Uncle Sam, and fuck Leprechaun. Any of those jump out to you? I'm weirdly like into Leprechaun now because I just want to see Warwick Davis. But I don't know. Sounds like we got a vote for Jack Frost and a vote for Uncle Sam. My vote being for really any of these that y'all are into. So yeah, shoot that opinion. Cool. And just to take this time to plug, you are watching UltraLoop. We stream as often as possible. Normally, this show on Tuesdays has Stephanie Thoreson as my co-host. She's taken the night off. We're going to wrap the stream up pretty soon here and only go for about an hour and a half tonight. Normally, we go for 3 hours. Really appreciate everyone who's tuned in tonight. And you are in a video store as a digital space where you get to hang out. Hopefully, there will be merch soon. And also, we're going to have some fun unboxings coming up in the near future. Also, for those of you who are collectors, it is the 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble right now. Leprechaun, let's do it. Haven't seen Leprechaun in years. Would be down. Fuck, let's do Leprechaun. It's Warwick Davis on a warpath, and it's not that good. And yeah, Jennifer Aniston's in it, but it's a fun effects, stupid movie. Let's watch fucking Leprechaun, man. Cool. That sounds fun. That sounds unexpected too. Like I have no idea what to expect. And I'm just going to let y'all know I'm also going to watch for sure most of the movies in that list. So if any of them intrigue you, watch them because I'll likely try and tear through this week. I've been trying to take a break from horror so I can really tear through for holiday horror week, and then we'll be figuring out what we're going to watch after that. Who knows? I don't know. There's millions of movies out there. Okay, guys, love y'all. Really appreciate you being here. Hang tight, just in general. We're going to get through this. It's an incredibly stressful time. Really thought we were in the clear after the election, after Saturday. Wishful thinking. As always, be kind, rewind. Black lives still matter. And we appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe. And follow and whatever pertains to this platform. I don't know what words to use. But I'm your host, Protextor. You can follow us on Instagram at You Are In A Video Store if you need a refresher on this week's theme and picks. I'm going to go try and chill out and maybe watch a movie. And I hope you get to watch some movies soon. Really appreciate y'all. Will, Vineet, thank you for being so active in the chat. Always a pleasure getting to hang out in this digital space with you. And with that, we cut to static. Y'all be safe.